at Doghouse Mazi. M-A, at Doghouse.
Of course we are.
Don't wanna sound full of myself a rude, but you ain't looking at no other dudes, cause you love me. I'm sorry. So you think about a chance. You find yourself trying to do my dance, maybe cause you love me. You do it, come on. Oh. Dance.
Well, thank you, Toya. What's good, y'all? Yours truly here, DJ Knots, tapping in for another dynamic edition of Pause for Pause podcast. We are here after a week off because I be working. Will does too. Nah, not at all. I'm here alongside my partner in crime, the one and only.
It's Will, y'all. Will the Thrill, professional shit talk extraordinaire, love of the people, the culture, and everything about it. Yeah,
That's better.
what up, blood?
Wait, can't hear me. There we go. There we go. That sounds. All right, cool.
You've been resting for 2 weeks, man.
I'm just kind of
Yeah,
rusty.
You
bro.
should,
see
you should
that?
be ready to rock.
I know. We're here for it. Like I said, we have another dynamic and special edition for you. We have some special guests in the house tonight. This young man, I've gotten to know on a few different platforms. I've become familiar with his music, and more than familiar, I'm a fan. First of all, proud of what he's already accomplished, right? And we've been trying to make this interview happen for a little minute. So I'm glad you are finally here. Zay Bcuz, thank you for being here, brother. Give me a
Hey, thank you so much. Wow. Overdue.
Yeah, it's
Glad to be
overdue.
here.
It's overdue. It's overdue.
For sure.
And you're here with family. Y'all tell me, break it down. I don't know. Let me do it right. Shout out to Mazi. Mazi, thank you for being here as well.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Talk to us real quick for the people who aren't familiar with you and a little bit of background.
Man, so first and foremost, yeah, I definitely brought my brother here. So a musician, lover of music, overall. Really kind of grew up not knowing I was an industry kid, and then finding out later, just getting to know my dad more, I was an industry kid. And my boy Mazi was a big part of that connection. But grew up playing the drums. Mom said you're gonna be in music type things, joining a band. I did auxiliary band, marching band, jazz band, those type of things. And then I found FL Studio.
Mm.
And I think it was around the time like a lot of kids were just on the internet, on MySpace and YouTube and figuring things out. And so I found FL Studio, Auto Tune, watched some Soulja Boy videos, and it was on. Like, you know what I mean?
And so the
Like,
tutorials were great.
man. And so I think, and then seeing stuff like that, and then being in Atlanta and watching things firsthand kind of blow up, getting to see them come to the skating rinks and show us the dances firsthand, and being in like those environments, I think inspired me to where I'm like, oh, I could do this, like
Gotcha.
just straight off the internet.
For sure.
And so little did I know on a whole other side, I would end up like settled off to my mom. And living with him, I learned more about his background and found out that he used to do like some like PR A&R work for Ghetto Mafia. And
Wow.
yeah. So that was just something that he sat me down and kind of retaught me the game more than I already knew. So I'm learning this internet side, it's getting some attention. I think like some boot camp from DTP had reached out like, hey, you got $25,000 or $2,500. You can fly out and do this production training camp. It was around that time they were doing that. But when I didn't do that, my dad sat me down and was like, yo, you got to really learn the game. And so just around that time, I was hanging out with Mazi, and we both were like, yo, let's learn as much as we can, soak up knowledge. We were talking to our music teachers, talking to the business class teachers, talking to the choir teachers, like anybody that was involved. And picking their brain to see how far we could go. And sat down, read, like I told you, that book. What is it called? Everything You Need to Know About the Music Industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so read that and was like, yeah, we're gonna start a label. And yeah, no, did not work. But
Big dreams.
yeah. But it taught us a lot because
Yeah.
we knew we wanted to do this seriously.
Gotcha. So y'all were in high school
Yeah,
when this all started.
for sure.
So go ahead. I ain't gonna cut you off.
No.
No, I was gonna ask because we all know most young artists, and I'm using the term artist very loosely, that's not what they think first. They think, let me get to the studio, not learn the business. Like, what was that process like? Like, why do you think y'all took that path and made that such a prominent goal of yours?
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. The real reason why is because we were kind of privileged on the studio side. I grew up with a studio in my house. My sister's dad was an engineer.
Okay.
And he worked with a lot of people. He would go to like Guitar Center or Mars Music. Hey, you need, solicit his engineering service. One of the dudes he ended up working with was James Earl Jones, which is a session drummer for the SOS band. Not the Darth Vader dude, but another. But
not the iconic actor.
Yeah, but he was a session drummer for the SOS band. And so by way of seeing stuff like that, I was already kind of privy to the studio thing. So I used to learn how to watch him and then learn how to record myself on FL Studio. So I was already where I thought I needed to be. It was horrible mixes, trash. Like, it was trash. But as far as needing to record, I was getting my ideas out. So I didn't necessarily need to run to, I need studio time.
Gotcha.
I was like, yo, I need to learn the business and like be able to get deeply involved. Like, I want to be able to make changes if there's ever a change necessary. I want to be able to make an impact.
Yeah.
So I think that was the early on kind of spin on it. Was I didn't have to, but it was definitely the privilege of being around that.
I got you. Because I remember one of the first conversations we first met at One Music Fest. Shout out Smoking Shells and the whole team.
Yes, sir.
This was 2 years ago or 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a few years now. And we were just talking before the show started. And I'm thinking to myself, he knows some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, it was normally a normal get to know, oh, I didn't know you do this, I know you do that type of thing. But it was just a conversation, certain thing that you were saying. It's not normally like that. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, nah, he knows some stuff. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Shout out Mr. H.
Yeah, I was about to say, definitely my pops taught me to be a student of the game more than anything. Like, I'm always a student. And even my godfather, rest his soul, he passed away. But my godfather, before he passed, he was a concierge for like all of the talent here. So basketball players, football players, the actors, rappers, you name it, they were in his limo services or his express trucks. And he kind of taught me the poise of the industry, but also the hustle as well. So I want to credit just my upbringing and support team, as well as his father, Roy. He was just one of those stand-up dudes of like, hey, you need to be a tradesman first. Like, even beyond any of this, not that there was a doubt it wouldn't work out, but in case it don't, you need to know how to work with your hands.
Oh, I got a very old school pops, man. My pops just celebrated his 76th birthday. So
Happy born day, Pop.
Yeah, happy born day.
So for him, it's always been have a plan for run, but then more than have a plan, have other extremities to that plan. So if your main goal don't work, but this is still what you want to do, know what other industries or know what other facets you can get into that are still around that dream. So even from a young buck, like I said, my pops, he was always preaching to me, trade school, like instead of over college, like learn a trade. Because he comes from that era. He comes from that era of if you have a skill, you can feed a family.
Facts.
So
You ain't wrong.
For me, the music business has always been a very enticing thing, but I never wanted to be the in front of the camera guy. I was always, well, if he's gonna be the rapper, like let me help try to find the beats or orchestrate the video or whatever that might be, just because we still see the same overall vision, but I like the skill trades end of it. You know what I mean? Not to say that the artistry or the emceeing part of it isn't a trade, but I like the other ends of it, the part that people don't see as much. You know what I mean? More like your skilled tradesman. Like, you don't see the brick mason that builds that building. You just see the building.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you see, you know who owns it. You know who the people who work in it. So shouts out to the MC, shout out to the artists that are in these buildings. But I wanted to be more so one of those people that helped build that building.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's all stemming from Pops, man. He's always been a person of making sure you're thorough. You know what I mean? So it's never been a case of half stepping. Like we bring him something halfway done, we gonna get the answer that we knew we was gonna get.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I got a follow-up question now. This is a two-part question. Because number one, you knowing that and being comfortable and saying, hey, I know the position I want to play is behind the scenes and doing that. Number one, because I think you kind of answered that saying, your pops have kind of instilled that in you. But was it anything that you noticed through your younger years, number one? And then the second part to that was how did you or when did you know, like, yo, I'm a rock with Zay because I know he got something?
We always, from the time we first linked up, like when we got started kicking it like freshman year of high school, it was like, I don't know, it was almost like a magical connection for real, man. Because it was like the classes, from the time we linked, it was like classes we noticed that we were in the classes with each other.
Yeah.
And it was the band, and then we was, on the marching band and doing different band things together, and same band director and music teacher. And so in a lot of ways, our lives were already kind of intertwined together. And then after we got to talking more, it was like, bro, like this my dude. Like he more so just like me. And then, after meeting his parents and then him meeting mine, it was like, bro, like we got the same type of upbringing at home. You know what I mean?
Right.
The same things that your people's on, mine is on. So it was, having the older pops, he wasn't going for that, just hanging with any and everybody in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I knew with him, I already knew how his people was at home. You know what I mean? So when I knew my pops met his moms, when my pops met his pops, it was gonna be okay. I know how y'all rocking. I know my son in good hands over there. I know he not just gonna be on, just out here.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like his pops knew when he came over to our crib, he was good. He didn't have to do the extra checkups. He knew he under Roy supervision right now, and it was that. You know what I mean? So I think as we got older, we embodied that more. You know what I mean? Like I tell him all the time, like after knowing his pops for so long now, I call him like Mr. H Jr. because he not even like on purpose, but he just embodies that thing that his pops put into him. And same with me, you know what I mean? So I think from that, it was just, at that point, it was written in the stars. Once our family started kind of getting more intertwined, it was like, nah, we know y'all gonna be tight. Y'all just got to figure this out now. Like, this is y'all path to walk. They never were like, y'all got to do it this way or you need to do that. It was like, no, if this is what y'all want, y'all will figure it out.
Yeah.
Y'all will ask the questions that you need to ask when the time is right. But other than that, I know y'all good.
That's a big key.
Shout out to fatherhood.
Yeah, how about that?
For sure. I know a lot of black boys ain't always got them, but shout out to ours, man, because we got two gems for sure.
Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. Did you want to say something?
No, man. I just love the head start that y'all got. You know what I mean? And I say it all the time is because, man, we talk a lot about fatherhood on the show, like a ton, because we both fathers in this. It's not only our duty in this. It's not only our duty and our job, it's our passion. It's what we love to do. Like, not just talking about it, actually. So when I hear of other fathers taking that job as serious as he and I do, like, I love it because I see what it produces. So my oldest is 15. His oldest is 23.
Yeah.
Like, so when I watch it, I'm like,
I have one. But go ahead.
Allegedly. Like, so when I watch it, I'm like, see, this is the fruit that bears from that. When you planting these seeds and you watering, and these kids is growing up and they turning into men and women, like, this is what it bears.
For sure.
So when I see y'all, I'm like, yeah.
True enough to that, one of the biggest things I want to attest to is being around his family because they're from Detroit. So that's the Midwest. My mom, she's from North Carolina. I was born and raised here in Georgia. But my dad, he's from Ohio.
Okay.
And so he really, it was almost kind of like a bit of a South versus North, a little in there. And so it was a disconnect. And getting to know, it was almost like I got to know my father more so through Dre and his family, Mazi and his family. It was like a beautiful connection of, I do have family from the Midwest. This is the Midwest kind of like flag. And at the same time, in my music, I sounded really Southern when I first came to live with my pop. And he did not like that. He didn't like the, what he called the lazy tongue.
Oh, okay.
Probably reminded him of Ghetto Mafia. He was like, hey, we already did that. You need to come on my wave. But it was definitely like a cultural understanding on, hey, yo, this is where Midwest come from. You know, we come from funk, we come from Bone Thugs, we come from this and that, and it's kind of West Coast, like laid back. It's something to it, and I think that's what developed my style that I have now in music. So honestly, those moments being beyond just upbringing, it builds character within you, and I think it made me, you know, sharpen my tool that I have today.
Absolutely true.
For sure.
Yeah, speaking of which, you just dropped a project. An EP. Are you calling it an EP or are we calling it a project?
So man, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of times it's Zay Bcuz, right? So a lot of times I'm just trying stuff. I had a collection of songs I'm dropping as singles, and somebody was like, "Yo, package that." I was like, "Okay." So I packaged it, and I think it's really just a package more so than anything is what I call a 3-song package. I don't know if it's an EP project. I'm not.
That's why I'm asking you because listen.
But maybe that's something we start calling things like, yo, this is just the package. But yeah, that was my 3-song package called Marigold. And it was just a collection of sound to get people familiar for what my debut album is going to sound like. A little cross between like electronic sound, a little cross between live instrumentation, trap, because I'm from Atlanta, but hip hop overall.
Overall, definitely hip hop. And that's definitely one of the things that I get. But even your bars, like you do a lot of wordplay, but even the song, no, in a good way, but even the song titles, there's double meanings and entendres in that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got to stop saying entendres because y'all know.
Man.
The true definition of entendre, it's not an entendre
nasty work.
Unless it's something about sex.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is true.
Nasty work.
Yeah.
I just recently learned
it has to be able to be used in a sexual sense. Yeah.
No, it's not an entendre.
Wait, that's not innuendo?
Nah, you know how we say, Jay's the king of entendres? If he's not talking about sex at some point, it's not technically an entendre.
Wow.
Why can't even air quote that? It's not an entendre. Yeah, thank you.
My definition is not entendre.
Hey, you learn, the more you know.
Well, I was like...
Unless you're talking real nasty.
So we're going to get that to Uncle Luke.
Right.
My bad.
So, no, I just learned that recently, but like even with song titles like Marigold and Replay Value, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that a little bit and how you decided to do that. Because I was listening to some of your stuff. Let me stop right there. Talk about that.
Man, so when it comes to songwriting, I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. I had parents that were really into grammar, had me studying literature a lot, read books a lot. So I had to do the thesaurus thing where you read the thesaurus when you in trouble, read the dictionary. I had to do that. Right, sentences.
He's always been like this.
So, but definitely, I was one of those Harry Potter kid, like at young, read all the Harry Potter books. So I was really into literature. I think that's what built my vocabulary up. But just as far as the way I see it, yeah, I've always been like that. I've always kind of seen the other side of the coin as whole. So it's like heads and tails is still one whole value. Never picking sides a lot. And I think that allows me to see both sides when I'm speaking or writing. It's like marigold, man, that word can mean so much when you break it down. Marigold, the act of marigold, the act of a flower. Like I think on the cover, it was like a concrete flower growing through concrete, just things growing through hardship. So I think a lot of my music has to come from that. Like I can't just make it. I used to write songs just to write, but I never really liked putting them out. So the music that I put out, I'm very, mindful of how I do it. It has to be very intentful.
Yeah.
So I gotta credit that. And then also just as far as being around iron sharpening iron, I want to credit 2 people for sure that I was blessed to be around early on, and my boy Nix and my boy Slick. And by way of that, I got to be around a couple of other people like Black, some of the Village people. But being around those type of tools, it's if you have something, you got to sharpen that and stay on top of that. So definitely those combinations, I think, is lethal. So
yeah, I think you and Nick's on character. Y'all crushed that.
Man,
that might have been out of the 3-pack. Well, I like the whole thing. I think character might have been my favorite record on it.
Like Replay Value.
And see, that's really what it was. It was like a 3-pack of kind of like a sample of all the sides of me.
Right.
Like, yo, I can have that bounce.
Yeah.
I can have that kind of like bop. Or I could just get cutthroat.
But I always say when him and Nick's work together, Nick's is from Cleveland too. So I think Nick's always brings out that other Midwest side of him that he don't always know is there at all times.
Yeah.
But until he hear niggas going, and then he like, oh, that's how we doing? Okay. But it's a good thing. Like you said, iron sharpening iron. It's like hearing him brings out the different lyricists in him. You know what I mean? So I love when they work together. For sure.
How many songs y'all done so far?
Man, released or unreleased?
No
I'm about to
release.
say-
No.
We don't say those.
Released, I think 2.
Okay.
And that's crazy because I've known him like since we were kids too. So like it was one of those things we always respected each other, but it just until the time was right, we ain't just force it to happen. So, but like it's just a project and trust. But like man, that guy is phenomenal. Just real quick to shout him out. My boy Nix for Cleveland, he's like a legend. But also met him down here in Gwinnett. He's got a great heart, and it's a lot of introductions he's made in this industry that have made things that we now see as like stardom.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of friends he have that we met through each other and built things, and it's a good dude. And I've always tried to make sure I carry myself in that. Like my pops would say, that's the Midwest way. You know, just carrying that on your shoulders to make those connections. And when you see a brother, like you acknowledge a brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Just making that happen. But man,
from day one too. Like that was another one of those ones. Like from the introduction and like just spending a couple hours around each other. It was just like, oh, okay, like you one of us. Like, okay.
Yeah.
It was just like an instant connection. Like, okay.
Yeah, with men in particular, I feel like if you hang around somebody and within an hour, you can tell like if this is your type of person.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's not 100%.
Yeah, you don't know his whole layout, but it's like, okay, I ain't gotta kind of. It's like, okay, I know how you land a little bit.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth. The main reason I feel like that happens is like that kind of recess yard thing. It starts there when you know yourself on the playground and like you know what you stand for. Versus the kid that'll follow, or the kid that's doing it to impress this girl, or the kid that I always on the reason I would fight the bully. Get in trouble. Mama, what are you doing? You're the smallest guy out here. Why you fighting, man? You were picking on that dude. So I don't know. To me, I feel like you know what you stand on, and you stand on principle, and you find other people like that.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I just feel blessed to find that early.
I was just gonna say, well, in continuation of that, one thing about because we older than y'all. Y'all generation.
You know
that? It's great maybe giving it away. But I notice a lot because I talk to a lot of younger DJs and other artists, things like that, and just younger people, period. A lot of people in y'all generation, and even younger, imposter syndrome
For sure.
is like one of the biggest crutches. It keep their foot on y'all neck, and it's like I try to talk to them and work out like try this, but it's like even when I'm talking to them privately, you know, and they ask, well, how did you know this and how did you know that, and when did you believe in yourself, and sometimes I don't think I deserve this, and it's just it become a repetitive theme.
For sure.
But I'm not getting that with y'all.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
I was gonna say I know for mine I can attest to it. Since my birth I had no choice. So I was it's a little TMI. I'll concede on my mom's birthday or born on my dad's, right? So since my birth,
I thought you were gonna go worse than that. That's cool.
Nah,
I said, man, I had to clean this up, man.
But sharing a birthday with my father, I definitely like it was no choice. It was like, yo, the once in a lifetime chance of this happening. So I think for me, it was already kind of like that was something special given to me just since birth. But also the upbringing. Like I have grandparents that like 7 years. So it was like, bruh, I'm somebody. You know you are. And I would say likewise, but
yeah, just with me, like even with my age being, you know, much in this same demographic with bro, it's like I said,
make a little bit closer.
My fault. Good. With my dad being in his 70s now, like I have I have 5 older brothers with my dad too. So all of my older brothers are in their late 40s and 50s now. So I got a very different upbringing than a lot of people in my generation. You know what I mean? Like I got the upbringing that they got. You know what I mean? So the imposter syndrome, like I don't know, it just wasn't alive in our home. Like I had the dad that was like, nah, I'm already retired from one job. I'm working another one. Like these shoes will work. You know, these clothes that I'm paying for, that I'm working hard for, that'll work because that's what you got. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put us in a bad situation just for the name brand. I'm not gonna let you not eat so you can fit the status quo. You know what I mean? So it was just, after that type of upbringing, man, you start to see life through a different lens. You start to see like what's really important. You start to see like even in friendships and brotherhoods, it's like, okay, what are we really here for? Like, is this my man's because I can talk to him? I can, you know what I'm saying? More than just, oh, he called me when there's some BS on the flow. You know what I mean? Like, nah. But this my brother, whether I'm down and out and I can call him and just talk to him, or whether, like I said, another thing, my birth mom actually passed when I was 8. So growing up, it was kind of just me and my dad for a while. You know what I mean? So I think with that, it was just like him having to depend on each other. You know what I'm saying? Because him having to work, and he was a truck driver at that time. So a lot of times he was on the road and he had to depend on me to be able to get up for school. You know what I'm saying?
On your own.
Do my work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times for me, I had to be able to have that same type of trust and dependability in him. Like, okay, well, he's keeping the fridge stocked. He keeping the lights on in here. You know what I'm saying? Whether I wanted to do football or the basketball,
you still doing all of that.
I was still able to do that.
Gotcha.
And so for me, it was like, well, I can't, as a kid, you had your mess ups. You do, you do your thing. But overall, it was like, I always knew a ceiling. Like, I'm not going to go there because that's just where I can't take my pops to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he do way too much. He's literally already retired from one job and working another one to make sure that you got it. You know what I mean? So do have your fun, but at the same time, there's a certain level that we're not going to conduct in.
Yeah, you know when you need to reel it back in.
For sure.
Yeah, and that's another thing I really had to learn about having a pops from the Midwest, like that different level of play. Like, hey, one wrong look and it's like, hey, you need to tighten up, like with the swiftness.
For sure.
So definitely appreciate learning that.
And then even for me, like when my pops did remarry, and I got my bonus brothers, like they became big parts of my life. Like my older brother Khalif, like I can remember several times throughout our high school experience of him, like, hey, like, just getting us both like, hey, bro, y'all gotta tighten up. Like y'all people's doing way too much for y'all to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So we always had a village that was very much hands on and with us, and like, no, y'all got a destiny to be at, and the bare minimum ain't it. So
let's make sure let's get to it. Damn, I love hearing it. I know you do.
You know I'm important like that, bro.
Like I said, that's what we mostly talk about. But go ahead.
No, I said this is what we preach, bro. This is the mission statement. Like we just listen, man. The head start plus the talent. Yeah, I think sometimes when it's normally one or the other. To be honest with you, sometimes you get cats who have that head start, but they'll be like, the reality is, man, like you just like so it don't matter how good the head start was. Like I don't know if that's in you, but to have the talent and then add that to the head start,
true,
like that pushes the talent forward. You know what I mean? That puts you in the position where you're ready to receive when opportunities pop up, when people come around, when you introduce yourself, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
People don't understand, man. That right there. So now when somebody say, hey, Knots, he called and said, yo, I want to have this artist on the show. I'm like, all right, who we talking about? All right, send me the link. Let me listen to his music. I'm like, all right. I was like, oh, nice. Like he can actually rap. Like, and I mean that in the nicest possible fucking way. Like, because as much music as is thrown out here.
Oh man, today,
sweet Jesus, boy, some of the stuff y'all be sending, I'll be like, man, I wish you the best, bro.
Hey, I understand.
I just don't know that this is like, I don't want to be the old hater saying get off my lawn, but I don't know. Some of it ain't for me. Let me say that. Is that nice enough?
It's nice. You can
yeah. Sometimes I come off as a hater. I don't want to do that.
we grew up with one of those though. Like having Mr. H was our biggest blessing, man. For real.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about from teenage years. Like never pulled a punch. Like
what is that?
Send him something like, no, that's trash, bro.
Yeah. So you gotta understand, this is a dude who is throwing like the first, these open mics and showcases you see. Yeah. He was doing that before doing that. Like they were at Apache before Apache. Like they had this thing called R&R G&J Entertainment, and they had like Monica was one of the people on their stage. They would have So Def in the building. They had like Usher was one of the people that, and I'm talking about young before the big deals and stuff, before the Face found him. So it was one of those almost like Pops dusting off the bowling ball, back to the league. You know what I mean? It was like when he was, oh, you want to rap?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to do music? You know what I mean? He really, really was like, okay.
But it was almost like a evil scientist, like, oh,
yo, watch
this is what you think you want to do.
Yeah. Because
let's see if you finish this boot camp first.
And I appreciate it because what he taught me was like, you got to really want to do this to want to do this.
For sure.
And like you said, like your character and how you get the character, the song, but how you carry yourself.
Good job.
It's all in how you carry yourself. Like my pops used to tell me, you need to act like you're supposed to be there if you're supposed to be there. He would do like, so him and my godfather, they do like little side quests that I'd be like, who are y'all? So one time for Vince and Tamar, they shut down a Dairy Queen. Like they just had a pool like that. And it was for her birthday. She's like, I want ice cream for my birthday. So I think they was on VH1 and stuff. They shut down the Dairy Queen, had her birthday party at VH1, and they had me walk through. And he was like, you just need to act like you're supposed to be there. And I ended up meeting him that day just because of the strength of, oh, you supposed to be here. And I've always carried myself like that. And doing that, it's gotten me into places that normally you're not supposed to be, but that's how I got to network. Like, especially DJing and doing EDM for the little time I did.
Hey, you brought that up early. Let's talk about that for a second. Just real quick. Why EDM? Why would you jump there first?
So, okay.
That was a different point.
Man.
18?
Man, I was 18. I was in college.
We were at the quad.
Yeah, we were at the quad.
Wait, what school is this?
Georgia Perimeter. It was Georgia State. Yeah, it was still Perimeter.
Okay,
Dunwoody. Yep.
Okay.
And so, pretty much. So the OGs was hating on FL Studio, bro. But the white boys wasn't. So I was like, okay. I was linking with the white boys and the Hispanic.
It was just
kids.
the college crowd, man. You know, once you enter in like the college realm,
it gets more diverse. So you're not just in your neighborhood.
Music.
Yeah.
True.
And so meeting with them, they were like, yo, we doing electronic dance music. And of course, at the time, they're pulling from house, which still came from us.
Yeah. Right.
But they're also pulling from techno. They're pulling from all these elements. But there's this thing called dubstep and Skrillex. And so everybody's like, yo, I got to make dubstep.
Yeah.
Dubstep comes from dub. So it's still from the elements that eventually leads to hip hop. So while they're doing these dub sounds, they finding these like Major Lazer and all these dub kits. And it's like, let's Lil Jon kids. Now they're putting trap elements in there.
Yeah.
They notice I have the kits.
Yeah.
So now we trading kits. They showing me how to like warp sounds and stuff, and I'm showing them how to put the trap elements.
Yeah.
And so I was in a DJ clique that we ended up being one of those first pioneers in the trap step or whatever they were calling it.
Yeah.
And we were opening for like Midnight Pen. A lot of people up at we would do Iris, Kingdom Rave, and what was the other one called? The Quad. Yeah, the Quad. We would be at the Quad. And we'd be DJing there. And that kind of led to my first, this is the music business industry.
Gotcha.
That's when we started getting looks. But then, like, for example, I entered a contest with the clique I was with, and it was for Starwood Properties. And what we didn't read in the fine print is if we got our song chosen, we were giving them the song. All we were doing was just getting the rights to, hey, these guys made this.
Yeah.
First, you know what I mean? Like, first kind of like hits of, yo,
wow.
You gotta read the fine print.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think from that, I was like, okay, I don't like EDM. I'm going back to black people, where the niggas at. But
so they definitely paid you in exposure.
Yeah, that word.
That
was the word. Exposure. It was like, well, we got this exposure for you. I'm like, no, you guys are using our record on all your properties. But
that's crazy.
And it was because my homie turned it in and didn't tell us. Yeah. You know, hey, there's a contract. I signed it on y'all behalf. Oh man. So you learn these things early on, but I also knew carrying my character. I was like, yo, I need to find a mentor. I need to find somebody that can guide me through this shit. And so I was on search, and stumbled upon this one guy. So my homie was working at Vans, and this dude was doing the DJ grand opening for the Vans at North Point Mall. And he was listening to our music. He was like, man, I like this. It's kind of new. What is it? He invited us over to his crib. And we are sitting in the dude's driveway before we walk up. And we're like, yo, who is this? Let's Google this dude. So I Googled DJ Rossroot. And all we see is producer, DJ, manager, A Tribe Called Quest. Bro,
you had no idea.
Mind blown.
And
You know, that's how y'all met.
yeah,
Wow.
man, freshman in college. I was 19, and so we just like he just checked us out.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, we want to learn. So he's like, man, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to actually open that book. You know when somebody give you a book, but it's just sitting in your room, and it might move from your room to this shelf, but like you ain't opened it.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like it was that for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was intimidation or what, but like he was somebody that I had in my life that I know I know he had it. You know what I mean? I knew he had experience, but I didn't want to waste those moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I definitely kind of like did my own thing for a minute and got burnt a lot before it was like, hey man, can you give me some advice?
Yeah.
And that eventually led into us working together to where like that's my business partner to this day.
Right.
But it was definitely my character, I think, that allowed that opportunity. And like
Roots don't just deal with anybody.
yeah, you know what I mean?
So no, that's I like I said, I never knew the background to how y'all met, but that's dope. That's very on brand for Roots. You know what I'm saying? Because no, he's always an open book like that. Some of the greatest looks I've had since we've known each other wouldn't have came from anybody else. So
sure.
for you to say that, I can 1000% agree. You know what I mean? So
Oh man.
yeah.
Man. And so it was just beautiful moments like that. Like I said, it took a minute before I really tapped in with him. I had a couple of other managers before. I've had like a lot of managers, and not that it wasn't like me going to agencies that didn't work. It wasn't like, oh, I was with this and this. No, it was people that I wanted to see and believe in, and they were starting up. I was starting up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. You got to start up. I got to start up. Let's try. And it was just sometimes the visions wouldn't align. Sometimes we just weren't on the same page.
True.
You know, I'll never say that it was like incompetency. No, they was brilliant. That's why I picked them. But it just necessarily didn't align the same way until I found where I needed to be. But
that media training kicking in, boy. You hear this, right?
got to.
Every Daniel son needs a Mr. Miyagi.
He's dead.
When it clicks. I mean, and you know it kind of really early on. Like you might get in the room with somebody or meet somebody. I'm like, damn, I kind of like the type of time they on. But like, once you really start to get into like the P's and Q's and really start working, is when you like, you know something, this dude might be amazing, but I don't know that this is the right amazing for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, so there's no knock on him. We tell people all the time, bro, we've tried other people on the show, and I'll be like, yeah, I've seen that dude on other stuff, and he's like a really good interview. And he might come here, and I'll be like, yeah, and he can't ever come back. Like,
a few of those.
Yeah, like, no, that wasn't it at all.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting. You know what I mean? That don't mean they bad. I'm telling you, I just seen them. They killed.
Yeah. It's the water bottle theory. It all depends upon where the water bottle is supposed to be, what its value will be set at.
What's the theory? Wait, what's this?
So you have a water bottle where the water boys got it. You got a water bottle that's just sitting like for free in the back of an Uber. You got a water bottle that's like on a plane.
Yeah.
It's all water.
Yeah.
But that plane, I bet you that private jet costs like, you know.
I got what you're saying. Okay, I got you. I'm with you now.
And so just knowing my value, that's one thing. Like it goes back to intent, it goes back to character, it goes back to knowing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Self-awareness.
Facts.
Hey man.
But it definitely goes into all of that. I think that it takes to know when and when not. Like I said earlier, I think on the threads or whatever these apps are, but I said earlier, art is a feeling, not a formula.
Facts.
You know, so when you're in search of, remember that. Because I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be in search of, but when you're in search of, remember that art is a feeling, not a formula. And so you gotta know. You gotta know something. You gotta beyond the doubt know something. Like, you know, for me personally, I say higher power. I believe in higher power, but whatever it is, like, you gotta know something.
I think that speaks to that imposter syndrome that you was talking about. Like when you can step outside of that, you can get back in the feeling of being an artist and actually creating, because now you're not chasing the now sound. You're not chasing, well, he sounds like this. It's this is how I feel. So this is what I want to put out. now I can be more in touch with the message that I want to deliver to the world, because this is what I feel personally. I'm not trying to deliver his story. I'm not trying to tell you how Zay feel, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how Mazi feeling. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I feel like knowing yourself through that's that navigation, that's that GPS that you have to have. And what I personally use just to know, like, okay, this room not for you. This your room, this room maybe just this one time, and like you don't need to be in this room because it was for this, but like can't spend too much time. Just knowing where you're supposed to be and how to navigate, because a lot of people can get lost just chasing because they just want to be.
Right.
Rather than just allowing your being to
staying in a situation too long, more than they should be there, and possibly miss another opportunity where they should have been going down that journey of uncertainty. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, but speaking of uncertainty, okay, I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
No, you about to say something deep. I saw it on your face.
No, I wasn't. Gonna do what you about to do. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to talk about hip hop real quick. The current state of where we are right now.
Okay.
2025. From you guys' point of view, I want to hear from both of y'all. Okay. And you could take it. I'm not even gonna try to frame this down any type of way. Whatever area you want to talk about, we could go from there. Because we had some stuff on the Met Gala yesterday. Listen, there's a lot going on. So, what would your remarks be of where hip hop is right now?
It's so bittersweet for me. Being a guy that's a Detroit guy, I love the fact that my city is finally starting to get some shine.
What you mean starting to?
Major outside, come on, man. Outside of Eminem and T Grizzly,
it's a huge move. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Court's here.
It took T Grizzly first day out to become such a major hit across the states for all of these artists that we've known in Detroit to be hit makers for years,
right?
To just now start to get their light. Like, if T Grizzly didn't pop, we wouldn't have Icewear Vezo on QC.
Right.
You wouldn't have 4-2 Doug with Lil Baby in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got so many different artists now across the city of Detroit that have a voice that were just
shout out Yachty.
And Yachty for sure. Michigan Boy Boat definitely put the whole state on the map. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, but now that even Detroit is getting their shine now, it's like, I hate the fact that we had to get to a point of music kind of being so watered down for us to start.
They sound chasing. They sound chasing. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, that's never not been a thing. So I can't even act like sound chasing is this new phenomenon of, that's what's ruining hip hop. We've always sound chased,
right?
Because we've always chart chased and hit chased and number chased. When they brought things to streaming, it just made it easier to look. So now it's more saturated, so it might feel overwhelmed, but it's always kind of been. I think people be like, yo, bad music versus good music. Nah, it's been authentic music versus artificial music. I think it's always been that.
Yes, indeed.
It's crazy because like we often discuss in hip hop, man. Our era of like trying to get into music. Like there was a time like to get on the radio, like somebody had to say you was nice,
right,
for you to get your music out.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just. And now today is, I think I'm nice.
Upload.
And you know what? I'm not mad at that, because if you find somebody who is nice,
I love it.
Cool.
I love that they have the opportunity, but
I know where you're at there.
The disadvantage to that is
I feel
it's
that
now
way.
like when I say hey,
I feel
it's
that
now
way.
like when I say hey.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo,
here we go.
I'm like, yo, it's my truth to me. Everything is subjective. So my opinion is my opinion. Your opinion is your opinion. I could listen to you and be like, damn, yo, this kid, he nice as shit.
Right.
Like, what's the hold up? Yeah. Like, what's stopping him from that level? You know what I mean? But somebody comes to him and be like, yeah. And I'd be like, yo, you're bugging. You know how hip hop is, much like sports. Once the argument start, we might be here all night.
Yeah. But
who?
I'll tell you this. You know what I feel like the most important thing is, and sports is a great way to look at it. At the end of the day, when you're in the conversation, and who's really in the conversation, like, yeah, you might see people come across your screen, but are they really in the conversation? Are they on the field? Yeah, a lot of niggas can ball, but how many are in the professional league?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But that's why I kind of agree a little bit. Like, I think that's why that stamp sometimes is important, or that the YNs now, they like to like get rid of the big homie, but that's a pivotal part of maturing and coming into your era. It's like learning from the ones that was there before you, learning from the ones that actually have done this before you. Like, otherwise, you walk into situations or you blindsided by a bunch of things that you could have had the map to this for, but you chose to, you know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think the disconnect is there? Because we talk about that all the time,
I'm
too.
gonna tell you, the internet, and it's
sure.
because the internet dilutes reality versus what you're just seeing on your face.
Yeah.
Like, at least when the TV program was a program, it was a program. Now the internet, you really believe, bro, that's still the program. It's just a program, bro.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot of people I know in real life, bro, and I'm like, dog, y'all think they just privileged? No, I
They
know
think
who
it's
they
a fact because
like,
they came
bro.
across the internet.
There are a lot of my peers, man, are smarter than you think. Like, do not get fooled. Like, bruh, Thug was listening to his elders. Beyond what people think, Yachty was listening to his elders. That's why sometimes he got frustrated because he's like, bro, do you know who I'm listening to my elders? Cardi was listening to his elders. Believe it or not, there is respect. There's a respect to hip hop. Like, I know these guys personally where it's like, and not necessarily like best friends or senior, but I've been more than the average around these dudes enough to know, like, they respect this. And that's why they are where they are. Even if you might not see or align or agree with their character the way that they're showing it, because they into rock star stuff. I skateboarded, so I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I watch stuff like Jackass. Like, I get where they come from. But I think a lot of people got fooled out of that and thinking like, yo, it's some rebellious thing, when really they are trying to preserve hip hop, actually.
The term reality TV, it is not reality.
For sure. It's super scripted.
It's not real at all. Court's here.
What's good, bro?
I'm here. So,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
how y'all feeling? Yeah. Can't I use to have my headphones so I can
No, you go.
be in tune.
Yeah, right there. So, I'm trying to figure out where exactly to catch you up to because you've heard a little bit of this. And Court talks about this stuff too. You know, we be trying not to jump on the younger generation, but like you said, the internet has a lot to do with it. So, Court, I know you have an interesting perspective about that.
As far as the disconnect?
Yes.
Like he was saying, like Cardi, Thug, those are good examples, but see, like he said, like they listen to their elders. But I feel like back then, you didn't really have access to what you wanted to hear. Like you kind of got what was presented to you, what was hot. So if you tell you talking about you ain't never listened to Jay-Z, that's cap. He was the hottest rapper. So
if you grew up in the 90s,
everybody wasn't burning discs. So and everybody wasn't buying mixtapes. You feel me? But so I really want to ask a question on top of what we're talking about.
Bro, that's why you're here. Come on.
For sure.
Do y'all feel like the underground scene is more effective back then or now, as far as music, hip hop? And when I say the underground scene, we talking about like y'all from Detroit, right? I'm talking about Detroit.
I am.
Yeah.
Cats like Royce, the 5'9", came up from the underground scene, from battle rapping and coming his way up. So
For sure.
like I said, like is the underground scene more effective like back then, or is it then?
Man, I think
now.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the underground is always gonna be the effective because that's how it happens authentically. Once it kind of hits mass appeal, that's when things change.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like what the internet has done is given underground niches more of a highlight, so you can see just how many underground scenes there are, and it's very opportunist when you look at it that way. But
I think the underground is a necessity almost.
Yeah,
It's like if you want
It's
to be
what
a
makes
comedian, you're gonna go through the chitlin circuit. You're gonna do all the small venues before you get that, that headline.
Yeah. I remember when Wiz came out.
Nowadays they don't, but to me personally, I feel like if you respect the craft, you do, because like my guy, I shout out Jack Funny. One of the biggest comedians from our city right now. He almost had a reality check.
He's super funny.
Because now on the internet you can blow up so fast, and you getting the skits going, but he had Mojo Brooks had invited him out to do a show in Chicago, and he had almost a reality check to realize, like, I haven't necessarily done this stand-up thing very long. And for his first performance doing that, the first show they booed him off the stage
in Chicago. I could believe that.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just to say, like, just because you blew up as a comedian, you know, from the internet thing, you still got to pay homage to the ones that was making rooms of 25 people laugh before they got to 50, till they got to 100, to now they're doing a couple thousand people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a real thing. If you don't know how to command that stage, if you don't know how to really interact with that crowd, then you might have success in one facet of it, but it won't carry over until you've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and just to attest to what he's saying, I know firsthand comedians that people think are just internet, but I've seen them at the local level. Like, bro, we watched Drewski make the whole classroom laugh to the point he get kicked out
For sure.
because he was that funny. Like, it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like,
I went to South.
yeah.
Word, I went to South too. That's crazy.
That's hard.
Well, hey, fella, he know what's going on.
What is South?
South Gwinnett.
Oh, see, thank you.
Yeah.
Louisville.
No,
Yeah.
Louisville.
The bottom of the net.
Y'all say it sounds like it's Brooklyn. Like, no, we didn't know what you mean by the South, but no.
South Gwinnett High School, dude. The man.
Yeah, a lot of ball players come out of there too. Yeah,
Man,
Yeah.
South Gwinnett has had a lot of everything, man.
Yeah.
From people that's nice with dancing, people that like one of the girls that was on our color guard when we was in band. She's a dancer for Keep Sweat now. You know what I'm saying? It's been touring professionally for years now. Like, so South Gwinnett as a whole, man, like I shout out South all the time, man, because there's so much talent that came through that. Gwinnett County for sure. There's so much talent that's come through there, discovered and undiscovered, man. Like, super, super, super talented area, man.
I'm gonna put on
people from everywhere.
I'm gonna throw my opinion on the effectiveness, and I shout out to South. I graduated from Shiloh, but anyway,
I went to Shiloh too, so you know.
Me personally, I feel like the underground scene is more effective back then.
Okay.
So to add on to what you were saying as far as like the comedian wave, that's why I feel like back then you had to be nice to really get your way up there. For like that, like let's just put it in the perspective of a A&R.
Yeah.
Okay. Now A&R don't even gotta leave the crib. He can just go float through his phone and find out who buzzing.
Who numbers is nice, yeah.
Back then you had to really go outside, you had to pull up to the showcase, you had to pull up to the local, whatever, and really see like who buzzing for real, like who really nice.
Yeah.
And then you move them up. So I feel like that's why you have cats like Kevin Hart that's on a whole different tier once they get to that limelight. You feel me? Because they've literally went through shit organically. You feel what I'm saying? And
for sure.
It had to be effective. You had to be nice.
For sure.
And so like, because now you got cats like Ice JJ Fish, who's a gimmick, but he had a hit song.
Yeah.
It was jokey, but
look at my man.
He got some pape from that song.
With my man, She Bangs.
Like with that being said, Ice JJ Fish back then couldn't move up with that.
Like,
nah,
he never got a look.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't really hear the whole word industry plant until the later years into hip hop, into music. So with that being said, like that whole terminology even popping off now just shows you like the underground scene is fabricated, if you ask me. Yeah, it's give you more exposure, but it's wild fabricated, bro. Like you can really put some shit together and make it look like something. Like a lot of times, like
the internet
back to the A&R perspective. A lot of times, like an A&R will rock with a cat that's getting 70 to 100K views on a post or just engagement period over the nigga that's really nice. Like I don't know, I might can get him to do some gimmicky shit. Because the social media ways, I can get a lot more money with him in different ways. Because now the market different. Like hip hop is very expanded. You get what I'm saying? Hip hop is in fashion now. Hip hop is all over the place. Like so, with that being said, like the underground scene is way more effective back then because you real deal had to have talent. You had to really like buzz and get your way up there. Like.
So you feel me? It's more watered down now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's for sure. Absolutely.
I'll tell you this: it doesn't work. What people think doesn't work because the goal is to be timeless. The goal is to not have to shake your ass and do all this extra. So I feel like as much as people look at numbers, like numbers are a reflection of emotions, right? Here today, going tomorrow. So you just watching people's emotions rise and fall. And if you go based on that alone, bro, you are sad. But that's what people want to pimp out real quick. What are ratings? Let's get them emotional real quick. Pull from this well and then like fuck everything else. Yeah. Whereas when you have things that are timeless, like bro, Kendrick is timeless. That's a timeless artist.
And I think it all goes to
like likewise Drake is timeless. That's why I feel like
you know what I mean?
The fact that they could even have what they had What? How many people tried to start beef
They both had to be
during
who
that
they
same
were.
time and try to
Yeah.
get attention, but it wasn't working? How many other people try to beef with each other? Oh, let's get some ratings up. Nah, you know what real energy is. And those guys was found even in the blog and the internet era. They were found through grassroots.
Facts.
There's this artist named Dominique Fike, bro. Dude's amazing. He's been on the Spider-Man soundtrack. He was on tour with Brockhampton. He's done Coachella. And I would compare his Coachella set to Frank Ocean's, right?
Okay.
It was up there. And it's this Filipino kid from Florida. He got a $3 million record deal from Columbia. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
I'm not familiar. What kind
but,
of R&B
listen,
or
but
what?
listen to these. Listen to where he's at in life. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, it's kind of like R&B alt.
Okay.
But, and I'm just saying that to say they found him performing at bars and gave them that opportunity. So I don't think it's necessarily lost. Just what are we putting our attention on?
Yeah, and that's why I say I think it's all
not as
what
effective.
do you go into it for? You know what I mean? Because that's like I gotta say with him all the time is I feel like if he just wanted to do music just to be on, just to have a couple dollars, he could have did that 8 years ago. You know what I mean? But I know what his pops instilled in him. I know like what he really wants from this. You know what I mean? And I know the respect that he really wants out of this. So the timing has to be right on everything. The for a label to want to work with him, the deal has to be right. It has to be more than just the money. It has to be more than just I can make you a celebrity tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's great, but will I be here in 15 years? Will people still play my music in 20?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know that's what he wants from it, but who's to say? Like the next dude might just only want, you know what I mean, $25,000, and once he get that,
we good. We out.
I'm successful
I'm
by
legit.
my standard of what I was into this for. If I only came out of this to make a couple dollars and I made my couple dollars, then I'm a success to myself.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
So I work with a nonprofit where it's called NSEG, National Collegiate Entertainers Groups. And their goal is to kind of like be the NCAA of entertainment, right? Because we noticed that's part of the gap that's missing is there's nobody there to filter like they do for the sports, right? There is no, hey, it's mandatory now to go to college. Like you have to have some type of educational feature to this. So they just handpicking people off the internet and the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Either you hot or you not.
Right.
Whereas if you implement an educational system and a vetting system and you make that the mandatory, now look how you change the scope. Now look at how they done with athleticism. So I feel like
force that underground scene to be more respected again. You kind of force those stamps to really mean what they used to mean again, because now it's like, nah, I'm not telling you just go listen to this dude. I'm not telling you just to work with this dude. I'm telling you like this dude is nice because he's put the hours in. I know the people he's
you can see
working
his
with.
stats.
Like,
because why do you trust the sports players you trust? You can see their statistics.
Right.
I mean, you can see the points they put on the board. So if you want to talk numbers, I don't think the numbers should be in, hey, look at me numbers. I don't think these views on social media platforms is it. Like, yo, how many lives did they affect in a positive way? Yeah. How much impact? Like impact points over influence points.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Section 80 is a perfect example for me. Like that project when it came out, my license was suspended, so I was on MARTA.
Mine too.
Right?
Scary.
So every day coming through the city on the train, making it from work and all of that, it was Section 80. It was Section 80. It was Section 80. You know what I mean? It built the foundation and support why I moved Kendrick into my top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was saying this after To Pimp a Butterfly. I was saying it then. I'm like, man, no way. But now fast forward 8 years and everybody's like, you know what? You got us right. So it's that type of stuff that you're talking about, the longevity, the the lifespan. That's what I was trying to say. It's so important, and just to hear y'all talk about it is different. Like you said, it's easy to just get a quick moment. It's easy to pop for a minute, because I've actually had artists call me on the phone and say, yo, I'm just trying to go viral. And I was like, bro, I can't help you with that. I don't know what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? This is years ago. But they were very dead on. Like, that's all I want to do is just go viral. And I was like, bro, I can't help you. You know what I mean?
Man, my team will tell you I hate this word every time, and I get it, right?
For sure.
But I hate when we bring up numbers. They always, hey, so
why
we
you
gotta
wanna
look at
talk,
the
man.
numbers.
All you want to talk.
Gotta look at the numbers, and I get it, right? Because I worked retail. I work with I work a job. So matter of fact, shout out Free Smoke. It's a family business. So
Free Smoke?
yeah,
I mean,
Free Smoke.
that's everybody. Listen, you can plug your own people's stuff.
but that is where I learned recently a lot of just numbers. You know what I mean? Just like volume and product and what is for the consumer. What do people want? What are people into? So I get that, right? But there's also the other side of the pivot where it's like there is this tug of war or the bull, if you will, the bull with the red flag. It's like there is this feat to it where you gotta fight for your ownership. And I think that more important than anything is the struggle that artists have. The real battle that they think they're going through, where it's numbers, is it this? No, it's like, man, how much of my integrity am I gonna bend to be what I think everybody wants? Versus what
For sure.
I got a question about that, like, cause I know a lot of niggas that rap.
For sure.
I'm hard to find a nigga that rap these days.
For sure.
especially here in Atlanta.
Yeah, so we talk the business side of things as well. So, but I'm more like interested in like artist development and things of that nature. Like I've been real intrigued in that conversation. So my question is, like, how does an artist? Because this is my theory. I believe an artist can't really sell himself or get like truthfully or really like expose who they really are until they later on into their career. Like you got to get on and get hot first, then you can like really push the music that you want to push, like make the songs that you really want to make that's intimate to your fans. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the way the game is, like you said, numbers. Like back then, I feel like to get on Rap City, you probably can get a couple vouchers from niggas in your hood or somebody that got some type of name, and you really get on. Now it's like, you nice, but nigga, you only got 100 views. You know, I want you on my channel type shit. You on that type thing. You feel me?
I also believe now they got so many people in these PR rooms that even if they feel like you lack there, they know how to gimmick you up.
Yeah, you could pay for that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Advertise.
So
yeah,
you're an artist,
they'll
right?
gimmick you down for sure.
Are you okay? I'll ask this question: are you willing to bend who you are, kind of like I guess
Put nobody's name on.
Not even. I'm not gonna say like sell your soul. Like I'm not even going that deep. But we talking as far as like taking a back burner to like trying to really present yourself how you want to and go about it how the number game will get you there.
Too talented.
Are you willing to do that?
Nah, too talented.
Come on.
For me, it's like
I feel like that blocks a lot of artists though. Go ahead.
Well, because I'm not just an artist. I write screenplays. I design. Like I skate. I do so much that anytime somebody try to put me in a box, I'm gonna go do something else. And then when I stop doing what you wanted me to do, watch how many people beg me to come back and do it. Like I'm like that. Like my biggest thing is I don't even really care to be a recording artist. You gotta capture the song, right? But I like performing. I will outperform anyone. I promise you.
Work.
Like he put me on these stages, like, and I've already got a track record to prove it, right? Like
that's a fact.
I did Juneteenth Fest 2 times. Hopefully we do it again this year. But like I've done big stage. I did hip hop. What is it? Hip hop Day Fest.
Oh,
with DJ Scream. Yeah. That. I did so well there that while I was on stage, 411 Pain said, "Hey, can you stay on stage and give us a jingle? We'll pay you right here and there just to give us a jingle live."
You should have did that. They'd be rolling.
No, I did it. But it's like you gotta know yourself. You gotta know where you are. And I know for me, I don't even do this to look cool on the internet. I'm gonna be here in real. Like, put me on stage.
That's why I say you really gotta love like music. Just because the way this shit is, it's nasty work. Like, because I feel for artists and people that want to rap that have real talent, that really have something that they want to expose to the world. But the way the numbers game is, and you can't blame the business side of it either, because it's like, yo, I gotta keep this way. This is the way the algorithm works. This is the way the world works. This is the way the money flows. So it's kind of like,
man, that's
you really can't go to these rooms and like, all right, boom, like you said, I do this, that, and the third. You go into these offices and these executive offices, and you try to get them to invest into you. They'll probably nitpick through all this shit you got going on and be like, oh, that right there is buzzing. That's 1 million views. All right, move all that out the way. We're going to push this. And it's almost like, okay, damn, like you damn near gotta
check. You know where I go with that? Bro, I already know a marketing firm. I will go to a bank and get the loan. Like I'm not waiting on nobody. The partnership is aligning Black culture for me and getting our ownership back. That's the
wait. Say that again. Wait, what? What was that?
That's hard.
So to me, if I were to walk into an executive office and they talking like that, I'll go build what he got. Because you can do that. Everything is outsourced now. The internet, the beautiful thing about that, you can go find a marketing agent. You can find a producer. You can find a funder. You can find a venue. You can set everything up. Yo, it's a DIY world. The only thing that you would look at is, hey, I like your gates. Lower those for me. And if you're not doing it on my terms.
Like I look at artists like Ari Lennox, and it's like, yo, I know for a fact she got a whole other creative side that she can tap into and really put out here. But like she said, she even like spill it out like, yo, y'all done made me the face of mental health. And that's the way that I feel like the labels do that. Like whatever the world attract to, they milk that artist to be that.
Check. If you walk in with no intentions, I promise you, right? So I'm not gonna blast, but like I walked into a room and I had intention, right? And they had intention. And when our intentions didn't align, I had to let them know, like, hey, bro, I'm not into feminist fashion. So no, I'm not putting that on. Like, what? Bye. I ain't signed nothing. You was courting me. Bye. I don't do that. Like, I got a cousin that's gay, so I'm not playing gay face. Like we don't like blackface. Why would I play gay face?
Gay face is something else.
I ain't gonna hold you though.
So it's like you gotta, but you have to know to your intent. Like, hey, I'm not doing this for you. I'm not doing this for rate. I'm not doing this for that. But I know what I'm doing it for, and I think a lot of people, they like, bro, I can walk around my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Some people can't do that, and like I think me knowing who I am at home. So abroad, it's always gonna be the same.
And then, I think that's the other thing, about the privilege that we do have now. You know what I mean? Is might not be like super rich, but some people take the deals that they have to take because of where they are. You know what I mean? Like just like with ball players, a lot of ball players wouldn't have just chose to not get a degree. You know what I mean? But I got to feed my family now. This is the opportunity I have now. So like with Ari Lennox, who's to say that the deal she was presented, she didn't need that money now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't know what taxes look. We don't know what debt.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. From a managerial perspective, if I was to be given advice or some type of guidance in the way we should go about things strategically, I believe that you should get in the room. Like my nigga, if you do the piano, you sing, you dance, if they keep the dancing shit, go dance. And then when we on and we got our own traction and we building that buzz, because one thing about it, once you build like your name within that push, now you're able like Thug, he even said it. He was like, I didn't care what type of deal I signed. I just needed to get the bag.
He said that?
Yeah. Go look up. I'm probably like
quoting
it all the way, but now
I don't want to necessarily
now besides like I'm not even going, like I said, selling your soul, all that. That's
no.
Besides all that, we talking about just like, I really believe that you should get in the room and then like artist-wise, whatever you're trying to expose, you're going to have to do that later down the road. It's almost like you can't even roll everything out at once sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Where the game is.
You have to, and I think the knowing is the most important. I always say don't wait for them to know more than them. Get in that room and know. If they know more than you, and not saying educational-wise or intellect-wise, yourself, your character. If they know your character more than you know your character,
they're going to know the business.
You can fuck.
I don't think they care about that, though, bro. I don't be thinking they care about that.
I don't care about what they care about.
As the business,
I care about the people.
Respectfully.
I care about the people. Like, let me tell you something. What make this go around? Them people or the people? Them people or the people?
Like
because every dollar they spend on you, they're going to charge back to you.
But I think that's where like, okay, we can say like when we're back to the disconnect. You got artists that's in this for the viral moment, and you got artists that's in this to touch the people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times the money don't flow to the people that's trying to touch the people. They flow to the people that's going viral. So now the disconnect is coming in from the organic hip hop fans and the people that's just into the whatever's getting hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what's being presented is some garbage, and what's really like that, like you got to search for it and really be into it. So the disconnect is because it's what's being promoted and what's you got to search for.
But that's the thing,
that's
though.
the beauty in it, though.
Right. That's the beauty that we have now. It's a lot easier for me to do that. Or word of mouth now reaches even more than it ever did back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I was to tell Will about, yo, check out this new artist, he got to go to the store, he got to buy the cassette tape. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like,
now he wants your money back if it's whack.
Cool. Now it's just, yo, you send me the link.
I'll bring it up on it. Like, yeah, that boy see it. That wasn't it.
Exactly, but at least you heard it though.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's a lot more. Of course, access is increased a lot more times 1,000. But I think when I say something or when you say something, because of what we stand on, people will listen to that more than just the random person. It's like people who've been like, yo, no shots. This is not a shot. They talking about how great Sinners is, right?
Yeah.
And
I know it.
you don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. I don't trust all these different reviewers. You know what I'm
Black
saying?
creative?
Of course.
It's a great movie. Go watch it.
Listen.
Hey, off of that alone, I'm a black creative. I took myself to see it on a matinee, just on a random Tuesday.
Well,
I've seen it 3 times.
It wasn't even about like the praise to, oh, this is the greatest film ever. It was like, yo, a black man did something we should all study.
That's a fact. But my point is more on everybody is saying it's this great, which is why I already have additional doubt. I'm gonna go see it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're hyping it, but I like the fact that they're hyping it because it's actually thought provoking.
Right.
You know what I mean? It actually makes
It's not
the mind,
false hype though.
It makes the mind think and
Well
wander on something real. You know what I'm saying? Something that, like you said, it'll make you want to see it a second or a third time. Like, nah, this touching on something deeper.
You gonna question when somebody asks to come in your
social media? What they talk about on social media? Like, if you a real type
Don't
of person,
ruin this movie for me.
No.
Alert.
I think the culture has a like. I might be the first one to like put this out there. I tweeted this too, so it's going up about 5 so far. Gonna get there, but I feel like the black culture has a bad, toxic way of when something like the popular opinion is like positive.
Yeah.
For some reason, us have to find the negative in it or find a way. Like it's almost like everybody's too many people going hard for it. So let me find a way to criticize it.
Okay,
like it can't be that.
I got a question for you on that because when you are given a false sense of this is the dream that you're being shipped to, and then you get duped in that, why would I not be a skeptic to everything being put in front of me? My whole body in front of me.
Regardless if somebody walk out that theater and say, yo, this is the greatest shit I ever seen. That's a personal opinion, but it all goes back to it being a great film. So for somebody like Knots to be like, yo, nah, that's toxic. I
didn't say that.
I feel like that's a toxic. There you did.
All use somebody else's name.
You literally just gave drawback to it before you presented it about the movie.
All he is showing is every black person's internal skepticism, which we all have. It's not like we don't. You might all have. It's not like we don't. You might have.
The internet is built now. Like when you can become an overnight sensation off of whatever. You know, literally like whatever you want to.
So check this out.
People want to know now. Like, is this really that?
Yeah,
or is this just another?
I feel like
big
some black
internet?
people just don't like being conjoined with a bunch of black positivity.
No. I don't think it's because look. It's all perspective, right? Let's say that you sitting in church, right, and you hungry, right? Your grandma give you a peppermint, and that's what holds you over till you get out of church. Now, how you gonna feel if you got out of church and you got another peppermint instead of some food? But that's what we've been conditioned to. So after a while, you like, bro, peppermint or food, I don't give a fuck. It's all bullshit.
It's all the same.
All right, this is my thing. So, like I said, I'm going deep with it. Pause. Like, the fact that it was so much positivity and praise behind it, like, I feel like the way black people look at our opinions and our intellect, we automatically feel like if it's hot, it's ignorant.
No, that's a fact.
Okay, I'm going to keep it a bust. Like, okay, we made Baby Boy damn near top 5 and it's garbage.
Facts.
So that shit like that, bro. Like our top movies.
It's a great hood.
So when we go into the movie theater, I'm dead serious. I'm going all the way right now. I dead feel like people within our culture be feeling like, all right, everybody like all the niggas like this shit. This gotta be like, hold on, let me look deep into it. Nah, my nigga, this shit's a couple people.
But Court, I just gave you an example of Rotten Tomatoes, which is not some nigga shit. I also said Yelp. I don't trust none of them. That's the second thing I said, bro.
Trust Twitter, Black Twitter.
Oh, not anymore. It's not the same. Black Twitter's not Black Twitter
So
no more.
what do you
Black
feel about the
Twitter
movie,
is
Nas?
corporate Black Twitter now.
Thank you, bro. Like,
It's very.
What do you feel about the movie, Nas? Go ahead.
I haven't seen it yet. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
He's gonna see it though.
I'm
He's
going
gonna
to
see it.
My whole point,
He's
and
not
you,
rushing.
which I'm glad I did this. I didn't know I didn't know this was gonna go happen. But the reason why I didn't know it's so much over the rainbow and so much amazing. I just don't trust individuals. You see what I'm saying? Black,
He
white,
doesn't
and
want to
in
put it like
between.
this.
He don't want to have an expectation up here just to see something that was like,
This
damn,
is-
y'all kind of.
This is
Yeah,
why
over
I'm
so-
mad that
yeah.
people are finding deficiency in it, because this is the thing. It's a great film. The shit's short as hell. I'm not telling it, but I'm just giving you like the overview.
Thank you.
The movie can be the movie. The way the script was going, the way
It could be a 4-hour
It could be a
movie.
4-hour movie, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
But the man had to cut it up. He
Yeah.
had to do what he had to do to put it together. How he had to put it.
So-
But that's the even more brilliant about it.
No.
But to
You,
The
his-
shit
but
feel like
his-
30 minutes, bro. But it's like,
But to
damn,
your
that shit was
point,
amazing.
I'm very much the same way. Like, I don't want to like something just because the masses like it. I want to like it because once I watched it,
Why not? You don't trust your people?
I don't trust nobody.
so I'm gonna tell you like this.
Fuck,
You
I hate
have
you,
you?
Nah, I don't like that.
No, you know why though? No, you want-
in
no,
the
no,
streets,
no,
man,
no,
not
no.
in the streets. That's
No, I give you something real though. You want to know why I don't trust just my people, bro?
I trust the old lady. behind me
Because
at the grocery store, bro. I'm good.
because I can watch
Cool,
everybody
because you-
else. I can watch everybody else get together on with they people on like what's important to they people and make a movement happen. But my people,
I see Indians fight. I don't know what y'all talking about. I see everybody do nigga shit.
I seen everybody.
Every culture do some nigga shit.
All right. Well, we don't want to get into reparations.
Wait, I'm gonna land my
Every
plate.
other
I'm
race
gonna land
can
my plate
stand
so we can know
on
what exactly what I'm trying
they
to say right
want
now.
together. But
Like you said, I don't like when to go with the popular opinion. Let me tell you something. I feel like if the whole hood fucking with something, it's like, I bet I'm fucking with it off GP. That's how I am, because I just trust my culture. I feel like we know what's hot. We put everything on. So that being said, they come back and everybody on Black Twitter is like, yo, Sinners is it? I'm on it. Let's go.
I think
But I feel like it's some half of the culture that be like, hold on,
because black culture also say that baddies
niggas like
is
this
it.
shit. Let me see.
Hey, I don't
Let
think
me
that's
see.
true.
Not
Because I could put you on a hip hop artist that you might think is the best hip hop artist ever, and I'm like, Court, that nigga's ass.
that's but nah.
What? It's my opinion, right? And we know the song. I can throw no name out,
No,
but everything is going to be subjective. Listen, Sinners is an entertainment. I haven't seen the film, so I'm not going to judge it at all. I am looking forward to going seeing it, but I don't want us to confuse with me
Like you can
going to
judge movies,
support.
not music.
That's crazy.
Music is more opinionated than a movie, bro.
Oh no,
No.
I think so.
I had
Yes.
somebody-
I
listen,
think arts.
A bad movie's a bad movie.
to
Come
go
on,
to
bro.
go to
But
Sinners,
no,
I had
A bad
somebody
movie
say,
is just
Artists,
clips.
art, period, bro. Because we could look at the same picture,
yeah, it's all art.
and I might think it's a super dope, but you don't see what I see in that.
Like I had somebody
You
tell
right.
me how. Listen, I don't know if I want to see it because Michael B. Jordan ain't that good at acting. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Right? And this is a real conversation I'm having with my friend. He goes, "Man, he wasn't that good when he was Killmonger." I said, "Bro, that's the most ridiculous. I've never heard anybody say that but you. Like literally just now, I've never
Say
heard
it
that
again?
before." He said, "Yo, when he was Killmonger in Black Panther, he wasn't that good. He wasn't believable." I was like, "Said my name.
That's hate,
This-
bro.
This
That's
second right
that's
here.
that's it.
You know what it is?
I have
And you know why?
never heard
We
that.
have black hate within our culture. My point is,
Look, I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Everybody
somebody
fucking Killmonger.
that looked like Michael B. Jordan took his bit. Everything goes. I promise you. It's
nah, it's really
But
because
no,
everybody
but-
fought with Killmonger, bro.
Nah,
I don't think Killmonger got a bad critic.
Yeah, but
from
like
people that was being honest.
we
But to
are
my
our
point is,
worst
I
enemies,
wasn't
bro.
even mad at him. I was just like, that's a wild opinion that I've never heard before. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But like I said, I also know people who I respect might have an opinion about a rapper that you like, and I'd be like, fam,
Oh,
music is so.
You are
selective, bro.
bugging.
we love to be devil's
Yeah,
advocate for
Music is
sure.
so.
you got people who say
selective, dog.
Scarface is a
Like, come
trash ass
bro.
movie. We
Like,
love it.
Some people
Yeah.
prefer Tubi movies, but I don't consider those movie watchers.
So there is the art of cinema.
It's garbage.
There's the art of film. There's the art of
Yeah, if you
of
watch, if you're into Tubi,
music.
my bad.
Hey, come on, G.
There's the art to it all. I will say that.
I watch
And-
Tubi movies,
but
but
look,
that's because a lot of my
One at a time.
creatives-
One at a time. One at a time. One at a time.
there's definitely an art to it, right?
It's not art.
And if you no, I'm not saying that like everything is art, but there's an art.
Sound like a hater.
but
Nah,
look,
we just love nigga shit.
there's an art to art form, right? So when you know, like I said, art is a feeling, not a formula. You know when it make you feel and when it don't. And when it's like, damn, somebody just trying to cook some recipe, but I ain't feel it. It's some bland shit. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what nourishes your spirit. So I feel like when it really comes down to it, art is short for articulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it articulated to you, then it did its job.
Right.
And it's also up to the interpreter to have articulation too. I need to know how to articulate this piece as well as the piece articulate to me. And I think that's where the disconnect comes is we don't know how to read. Niggas start reading. Well, yeah, a book cool, but like read. You know what I mean? Like we don't sit down and consume things. Everything gotta be quick. It's a quick TikTok or we don't have attention spans to even consume and read things. So people are gonna make things for short attention span because people are gonna consume things for short attention span. I feel like Sinners is a movie that, think about this. People went to the theater and bought tickets.
What do you mean?
People don't go to the movies, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
People went to the movies.
I don't know. I've been to the movies pretty regularly.
It's been a bad stretch of movies too. That's why I honestly feel like everybody was kind of relieved with it.
People don't go to the movies.
I mean,
since the pandemic,
I work for a living, so I can afford $12.99.
No, let's do it this way. There's 5 of us here. What was the last movie you saw? Was it Sinners?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Sinners.
And Sinners for you?
Yeah.
Minecraft.
That was hard.
Was it good?
I heard it was tough. I heard it was tough.
I wanted it by myself looking crazy. I ain't do that. Yeah.
My sister got a kid. I'm trying to figure if
I got 2 myself, so
I just think Jack Black is hilarious, bro. So that's
for sure.
Yes.
Since I was a kid, he's been hilarious.
So wait, my point is this: 4 out of 5 of us have went to the movie. I haven't been to the movies in I don't know how long. But that's my point, huh?
You went on the stream.
No, I'm going to go see it in the theater. But that's my point about this movie. 3 to 5 of us, Sinners was the last one we saw. Once again, a black movie, a black creation is powering Hollywood at a time where it's normally slow. Like, yeah, a new Marvel movie just dropped, but before then, they were in a slump until Sinners came out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's not just about, what you think it should be or why I'm mad about all the reviews. The point is we're spending money, like you were saying, on a black creation. So I was not trying to start an argument on if we should support black creators. That's not it.
Nah, I know you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not in your religion.
Because y'all don't know. But because we were teetering on my favorite topic and you brought up reparations and I have a theory, belief, and a science. Every problem that black people have right now goes back to slavery.
For sure.
But we ain't got time for that tonight. So
our parents probably around the same age. So I've had this talk my whole life.
Right. Okay, we got time for like 1 or 2 more things.
You know, I knew y'all was from Detroit. Well, you was from Detroit.
Ohio. How my people? I'm from Georgia, born and raised, but they from Ohio.
Oh, word. Okay. You vote Bow Wow?
Yeah, well, the chat works. Yeah.
Say less.
Get his name right.
You got put more respect on Bow Wow.
Everybody's professional name.
Right, no, because he got hit out right now.
Hey, I had a cousin.
Bow Wow got a hit?
Yeah, he got a hit right now. Him and Breezy. But my question is,
the real GOAT.
They do good work.
They do.
Where's the tape? Where's the tape?
Chris Brown really don't miss.
But no, this is the 2 things I wanted to talk about real quick. Your choice, and y'all pick one. Mount Rushmore of Detroit or Andre 3000's impact at the Met Gala carrying a piano on his back. Y'all pick.
I'm from Atlanta. You know what's going on. I'm from Atlanta. And I love jazz.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to listen to it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm one of the promo team. Like, what?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not officially.
Like, unofficially, yeah, I'm spreading like wildfire. That's a man from Atlanta that made, eclectic jazz and other music. Like, he's a musician. He's not a rapper.
Yeah.
He's a musician. So, yeah, for sure.
All right. Can I go first since we chose that? Because, like I said, it just came out. The album just dropped on Sunday or Friday. One or the other.
Yesterday.
Yeah. It came out the same time we did the promo.
Yeah.
I took it as Andre was presenting himself as putting what the cultural meaning of hip hop is on his back.
Oh my God.
When it comes to the piano. Because it represents not only his promo, but also what we wanted from him. Like, we didn't want the flute no more. We did that. We want more artistic or artistry from you. But this is just a physical representation of what it looks like. This is what I thought. But this is why I want you to
He's very brilliant. So
you know what I'm saying?
I disagree.
It was art.
It
was
it may just
right
be
now,
great promo, but that's how I look at it. Go ahead, Court.
That's what when I tell you I'll be up here fighting for us, our generation, the young ones coming up, because they not
too much.
They have this glaze for our hip hop pioneers and the ones that's completely stamped. Like Andre 3000 at this point can't miss. Everything he does
he's a
is
legend
going
at
to
this
be
point.
evaluated like that.
It's
My
almost
nigga,
like Eminem in that
If
recovery album.
YK Osiris walked down there with that piano on, what is niggas saying?
He's doing it
OD'ing.
for a gimmick. Yeah,
But that goes to character.
But due to the
That's two
fact that
different
Andre 3000
characters.
has created such an aura,
he's the male
that
Erykah Badu.
he's like walking creativeness because he's a dope nigga. We know that. But dope niggas miss. Fab missed before, bro.
Future don't
Fab
miss,
got
bro.
some fits that's like, all right, my boy.
Future
Let's
don't
hold it
miss.
down.
Future
Nah,
don't
Future
miss.
missed. He
Whoa,
should
whoa,
never
whoa.
take. The streets is
Future
talking,
don't
bro.
miss.
The
Future don't
women
miss.
are pissed about dreads.
The
Future,
cutting his
get
hair
it together.
shit? Yeah, bro.
No, whatever he want to do,
Future,
is he's
Future.
a wizard, bro.
Get the dreads
that's
back,
what
bro.
we do.
I got
That's
the
what we
word.
do.
They not fucking with it. Get the dreads back.
They'll be back for
But
2026.
Now, where I'm getting at though, bro. We talking about the piano. That's come on.
Nah, I feel you. It was a little bit.
All
much
right,
for
whatever.
me.
Did you listen to it?
I haven't.
That's crazy. Nah,
Hey,
and you know the flute shit was garbage. Like, come on, bro.
But no, you can skip now because you can listen to
When
it.
the last time you went back and listened to that flute shit?
Oh no, I meditate, so I listen to it on occasion. It's great meditation music. Court, you know
I
me.
love that flute out.
Court, we know you're not gonna put it on in the car and just ride to it. It gotta be used for something like meditation.
Yeah, that gotta be something like.
that
Okay,
first listen.
look.
I'll be honest with you, I never listened.
I'll say this.
Thank
I
you,
do
bro.
feel like my generation is permanently stuck in the emotion of anger. And like that's where some of our reflect is. Like it's nothing but
can't say
rage.
that.
No, hold on.
No, don't do that.
Wait, look. Let me speak my perspective. 'Cause I'm not saying
We like
this-
good music, bro.
No.
For
I'm
sure.
not
Oh,
saying.
when is that? I want to hear it from all y'all.
I'm not saying that this is like the end all to be all, but just something I've noticed that is like, hey, let's talk about it. It's a lot of enragement, and because we don't talk about it and we don't acknowledge it, it's gonna stay there. Because we can't say yes, I'm upset.
Okay.
Then we gonna remain upset because that is something that our generation is going through. Like, bro, you talking about young black men that was duped to the dupe. If y'all was duped, what were we? You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all got fucked by the system.
So are you speaking on like rap music or you speaking
No.
on
I'm
music
speaking.
period?
I'm
Like the culture,
speaking
like-
on the mindset and the collective because the music is just the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, we all mad. All black
You know
people
what I'm
pissed.
saying?
Yeah,
The
for
music
sure.
is just
As
the
we should be,
soundtrack.
though.
Absolutely.
So I feel like when you hear our reflection, what we gonna do about it? Cause so like when you hear music that's full of rage or full of resentment or full of this or full of that, bro, that's our honesty. That's how the young niggas feeling. That's how.
Let me tell you
That's
why
what's
I
going
say
on.
we know like our generation. Like I'm gonna go crazy, man. I'm from little sister and them. They cool. They know good music, bro. And you can look at your festivals. Like a lot of the times, to keep it $150, like your gimmicks, they got people there, but the artists, they got people out there like that travel from miles away that really spend bread and merch and all that.
Base will always be.
And what I feel like this generation coming up and the newest generation is going to do, or basically going to repeat in history, because history all repeats itself.
For
So
sure.
you got Run DMC that broke what's the barrier for like rock music and hip hop. So
Yeah.
I see now like you got Shambuzi with the country music.
Oh,
You
so
got
Killing it.
Yo. That's
like
so
rock, metal, hip hop is forming
Yeah.
a relationship. They in
A
bed
real
right now
bond
behind closed doors.
out of a realm that they didn't want us in.
Right.
But that's
You
what
know
I feel
what I
like it's about. I think it's about what
We
you're
finna
saying.
get into everywhere. Like it's getting bad. Like it ain't no more stamps. Like black
That's-
culture and hip hop is like finna
We finally starting to
due
take
to
the
the fact
reins.
that the generation
taking
is
the
so
reins
weird,
back.
bro. Like
Yeah.
it's so everywhere. Like back then, bro, you had if you was a rapper, you wore your Tim boots, you look hard, and you spit number bars.
Yeah.
Now you can wear skinny jeans, you can lick your tongue and all type of wild shit and say a bunch of crazy shit and get it off.
And you're a rapper. But look at it like this, right? It's because you black, right? And the reason why I say that, Drake and Party Next Door just put out they were doing nothing but
That was
singing
amazing.
on there.
Mhm.
Why is he on nothing but rap playlist and rap this and rap like that? Because they put you in that box. Oh, you black? You do this? You can't sing as well as Luther Vandross? You're a rapper.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember
You're right. I like that.
when the homie Black was coming out, he was like, "No, I'm an all R&B artist, rapper, bro. I'm an all R. I just told you what I'm here for. Yeah, but you're not, doing the usher, so you're a rapper. It's that box they try to put you in, and that goes back to when the executives try to tell you who you are, that character, that ownership, that I built you. You know what I mean? Like I made you.
Back then, alternative music, if you look at alternative music 2000s, it's probably gonna be all
Green Day,
Man,
Avril Lavigne.
yeah.
you feel me?
Yeah.
Now, if you look
Natalie
at
and
the alternate music list now, it's a lot of us.
Yeah.
And
For
then and it
sure.
needs to be. You got what is it?
We
Toro
dominate
Boy.
every.
You got Ketchinata. You
We
got
dominate everywhere now.
So that's what I'm getting at.
Look
I
at
feel like that's what
Beyonce's country album.
this generation did a benefit. So to my oh, they don't like old heads.
I think our generation is one of
This
the
new generation is going to bring hip hop to a more all avenues. I
You
guess.
think wait, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you go. You think we're doing that to make the impact of hip hop stay around longer, or mean more in today's terms?
I
Is
feel
it
like
just hip hop or is it black culture?
Now,
though?
to be honest with you, I feel like a lot of hip hop heads. When I say hip hop heads, the people that respect hip hop and know the history and the elegance of it, they are more or less. They feel like that this new generation is killing it, like sabotaging it. You get what I'm saying? And I was just speaking on the benefit that I see.
So I ain't gonna say killing it. I'm not gonna say that. What I've always said, and I've been saying this for I don't know how long now. Like, it is not the same thing. So I think there's just gonna be different kinds of hip hop. Rock has classic rock. It's shit that they don't touch. They don't mess with it. Like, has its own genre, and it's not the same as rock of today.
Yeah, for sure.
I think our hip hop, like, I can't compare Jay-Z to fucking G Herbo. Like, I cannot. They don't do the same thing to me.
You can compare Silk the Shocker to G Herbo though.
Wait. I see what you mean, because I would never compare like Jimi Hendrix to like
Future.
Elvis.
Yeah,
or
like,
no. I wouldn't compare Foo Fighters to the Beatles.
Yeah, like,
You know what I mean?
I know
Like,
they
I
quote
wouldn't
unquote rock and roll bands, but like they're not doing the same thing. That's why I say like yo, it should be a contemporary hip hop. Now, if we want to call the hip hop right now hip hop, then it's the hip hop of right now. It is. I'm not gonna say it's not hip hop. It is. To me, it's all hip hop. It's just like it's kind of when they compare, like, I love my sports.
Yeah, the
right?
Jordan era to
I hear you. I know my cats from my era is gonna love Mike over LeBron. I know it. I know cats from before that era is gonna say, yo, how you gonna talk about y'all saying he the greatest? Why? Bill Russell got fucking 12 rings. Like, what am I gonna say? Oh, now rings don't matter?
Isaiah.
Does hip hop have a primary sound?
Isaiah, my goat.
I feel like I feel like there's a difference between hip hop music and rap music. No. In 2025, yes. Maybe not traditionally.
You said what?
Traditionally, hip hop and rap was one, right? I feel like as time has progressed, we have a new differentiation between hip hop music and rap music. I feel like hip hop is more of that classic contemporary, like hip hop and R&B, but then you have like rap and alt, and I feel like with rap and alt, there's that's when you got the Young Thugs. That's when you got the new like, okay, for example, I was there when the sound that we hear now was thought of. It was literally like me, this great artist 5 AM, great producer Pierre, sitting in the studio, and niggas was like, bro, I love the sound of a Game Boy Advance. And remember I told you EDM, right? And so we just adding elements. And it's like, the next thing you know, a dude got a beat pack and Cardi was like, I like this.
So that's not hip hop.
Yeah, why is it not? Why is it not?
That's what I'm asking you. Like, so is what Young Thug doing not hip hop?
What I'm saying is, like, it always is going to come from the element of hip hop, because when you are coming from black culture, that's what hip hop is. You don't get a choice on that. I don't think you get the that's like no. Listen. I don't think saying yo, I'm hip hop or not is like saying yo, I'm black or not. You don't get a choice on that. That's a culture. That's not a genre. Let's get that understood. Hip hop is a culture. Like, yeah, they try to make it a genre because they want to sell something, but it's not. Rap is a genre to me. Hip hop is a culture. You can like be hip hop and R&B. You can be hip hop and rap. You can be hip hop and rock. But hip hop is black culture. Like, it's Black American culture.
So that's part of rap. So me personally, when you say that,
no. Rapping is an act.
Yeah, rap is a part of hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip hop isn't a part of rap.
What? Okay.
Yeah, rapping is
y'all are basically putting a divide between. It's the clear difference between hip hop and rap.
Yes, hip hop is the way you dress. Hip hop is the way you act. It's like that's why I say it's like black culture.
When Justin Bieber wanted to ethnic it up, he put some hip hop in it.
If you want to dress hip hop,
you're not gonna hip-hop music, but he put some hip hop in it.
If you want to dress hip hop, you're not gonna grab like classic hip hop. You're not gonna grab some shell toes and some Adidas shits.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Like
that's
all right. So when did it transition from hip hop to rap? Can we?
So you remember? So no, I got it. You remember gangster rap?
Because there's no more hip hop no more. I don't see hip hop.
You remember gangster rap?
Yeah,
that's when
that was a transition.
There was a whole man. Nah, let me stop.
bro. I was gonna say it like
y'all know what happened in '91. I'm gonna shut up.
it's all hip hop.
That's what I'm saying. It's like saying I'm not black, I'm OJ. When y'all say that, like
What
hip hop is not rap. Like I feel like me personally, and we can agree to disagree, and y'all can get on me. I'm cool. Pause. I think it's the same shit.
Shakespeare was rapping.
Rap is hip hop. Like that's an offspring. It's all
hip hop,
rhythm and poetry.
How can you
I'm gonna tell you
differentiate and say,
this.
nah, I'm hip hop. You rap.
Cause you were rapping it, bro. Rapping is biblical. Hip hop is
all hip hop.
It's all hip hop. I'm just saying, a rap is an element of hip hop. It's like just some singing in R&B songs.
Meaning like this. So check this out. Check this out.
You got it.
You're black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you start rapping,
hell yeah.
So when you start rapping, and this is not the most accurate analogy, but it's the one I'm gonna try to use. When you start rapping, I'm gonna feel it, and it's gonna be hip hop regardless. But if Daniel so and so, just because he rap don't mean he hip hop. Let me not stop saying names, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just because he rapping don't mean he hip hop, bro. Hip hop is the cookout.
What were you gonna say?
To me, hip hop is the cookout.
Because Marshall is hip hop.
No.
Yeah, because he's in the cookout.
So I think they should do this. I feel like there should be for the people disconnect. What's the primary sound, the look, doom, the boom for hip hop? Because clearly it's a difference.
It transitions.
I'm not about to say it's ever changing. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not
You can't. The fact that somebody wants to put a look
is
and
a living
a box
thing.
on that is the problem.
Hip hop has eras.
Bro, we've had what's the YMCA dudes? Then you turn around and Black culture has had the Delphonics. You turn around, we had the Temptations. You turn around, we had
Temptations hip hop.
No. Black culture.
I'm
Black culture. Because hip hop was like, yo, we need to put a name on this. We've been doing this for so long. What do we call it? That's what hip hop is. You see what I'm saying?
I got
That's real.
Word.
I think that's a good stopping point.
Yes.
Cause I know Brandon's like,
Shout out
yeah, I
to the
don't wrap
Giants,
this up.
Appreciate it, B.
Yeah, thank you, Network King. Real quick,
Sure,
man.
sure.
Once again, talk about the project, social medias. Where can we get next? All of the media run stuff. Let's do that right now.
For sure. So, man, name is Zay Bcuz. Why? Because
That's how you pronounce it. Go ahead.
yes, sir. And really, I'm just here promoting a project that I have coming out called Self Aware. And it's my debut album. It's my everything. I got legends on here from Ella J to DJ Rossrue doing production. My boy Ultimate, one of them ones. I got Nix, 7 a.m. It's just a great project with great people in this world that I think people should hear. And it's a guide to self-awareness. So if you like this conversation we had, it's just more of that.
For sure.
For sure.
Wait, hold on before you go.
Nah.
When is that coming? When's that happening?
Hey, as soon as we can all get it.
I like that. It's PR train. Yeah. We got a good one.
I got music out now for sure to check out, and it's just to give you a sample of the sound. But just know this like what is it? Detox. This like no, it's not detox because I don't know we ever. But this that one. This is something that I've been working on for a long time. If you from Atlanta and you know me, you know. You know,
man.
It's like 10 years in the making, but it's time.
Real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah.
If it was any artist that you would want to give a voucher for you, like say for instance, somebody you could present your music to and like who you would want to validate you or give you that cosign, who would that be?
Damn, bro about to make me emotional. Yeah, bro about to make me emotional, bro.
I know it is.
Your feeling is who you
I
did.
Bro. Man, because I miss him. I miss him so much, bro. Fife, bro.
Yeah.
Life dog.
Yeah.
Cause that's who I do this under. You know, that's who I'm signed to. That's who I chose to make my mark with. That's who I was. DJ Rossrue and Fife Dog. And unfortunately he passed before we could complete the album, but that's all I would have.
But he's heard you rap before?
Nah.
Damn.
Everything I'm doing, I'm living in a memory, bro. It's weird. Sometimes it's eerie. It feels like putting on Michael Jackson's glove and walking around. It's crazy, bro. But everything I do is in memory of that man, bro. Cause now I'm opening doors for like hip hop in the world itself, bro. He opened doors for me and my family.
What are you?
I can tell you that.
That's good though. He said Fife Dog. That's hard. Like
He's for Queens, nigga. What the fuck?
He ain't no rapper. He hip hop.
For sure,
Right?
for sure.
That's a hip hop answer.
That's real hip hop.
Yeah.
That's real
all
hip.
of that.
That's
All of those things.
That's classical. Real
Hey, and check
classic
out
hip-hop.
Fight Forever, man. That album is
Please,
amazing. If you haven't
respectfully.
heard that, bro, that can get you through so much, man. I cry to that album every time I hear it. But check out Fight Forever, bro.
Yeah,
The last thing he left us.
I'm gonna pivot real quick because I remember I went to the movie. Wait a minute, I went and saw an independent movie. My man John Deere, they put out their project.
John.
Yeah. And so GD's I went and saw it on Sunday to support. So that was the last time I was in the theater and spent money. But no, shout out to him. But it just reminded me of going to see Dear Dilla, the video when it dropped. When Roots did it at I think that was Landmark. I'm getting it wrong. But rented out the whole theater and seeing that and just feeling that love and energy. And when you were just talking about Fife like that, that's what it just took me back to. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because when you get those fleeting thoughts, it's like you got to speak on it now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it was Detroit. You already know.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. We got to do part 2 because I really want to hear your Mount Rushmore Detroit. We ain't got time tonight.
For sure.
We got to do part 2 for several reasons, but that's just one of them. And I just thought about that on the fly. We didn't even get to the Drake and Kendrick stuff, but we'll talk about that later. But appreciate y'all once again. Please tell us socials, everything. Go ahead.
Well, on socials, you can find me at Doghouse Mazi. Mostly, you can find my photography and videography portfolio on there into creative direction and pretty much.
Wait, time out. You ain't mentioned none of that.
Cause, man,
Look.
I told you I'm the man behind the scenes.
Hey, look.
You
When
did.
I tell you this is the guy that was like, you need it, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
This is like a driving force that kept me going, bro.
Gotcha.
If it was a camera, if it was a mic, if it was a studio, bro, man, built a studio in a basement just so we could, like, bro. So he's a tradesman. Just a tradesman. So,
Word, that's a good word.
Yeah,
that's a great word.
I'm really a carpenter by trade, though. Like that's what the boots I have on. Because 9 to 5, I'm a carpenter by trade.
Yeah,
I'm a custodial engineer.
Yeah,
I'm a janitor. Fuck it.
What my man said. Glorified dishwasher. I'm an underwater sink technician.
I respected that.
oh man.
Listen, man. I appreciate both of y'all being here. This was better than I could have imagined. Number one, number two. Knicks is up 1-0. But anyway, and then number 3, the way we end the show is right. Since we're all from New York, we count down. We go 3, 2, 1, and then we say you're. It's like a team building, group hug type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, Brandon?
Like Brandon, right? Wait, you got anything? Because I'm cutting.
I just want to say I appreciate y'all, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all.
having us, man.
This
For
was
real,
family,
for real.
bro,
This is
for sure.
This is what we like to do, man. Whether we was on camera rolling or not, we politicking all the time anyway, man. So this was a pleasure, man. I enjoyed it a lot.
Salute.
Yes, sir. You ready?
On 3.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.